News at 6.
Now at 6, Kyle Rittenhouse, a free man.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty.
Acquitted of all charges in the deadly protest shootings of 2020.
It's been a long 3 weeks. We're very happy with the verdict.
From tears of relief on one side to hurt and anger on the other.
How does this community move forward?
We can't. We back at square one.
The nation watching the verdict in. We're live in Kenosha with what happens next.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty.
Our big story tonight, the not guilty verdicts in the Kyle Rittenhouse trial.
Leading off our team coverage tonight, Patrick Palantonio. He joins us live outside the Kenosha County Courthouse tonight.
The jury came to the courthouse today for day 4 of deliberations. Around noon, they found Rittenhouse not guilty on all counts.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty.
Members of the jury, are these your unanimous verdicts? Is there anyone who does not agree with the verdicts as read?
An emotional Kyle Rittenhouse collapsed as the verdicts were read. The jury acquitted the Illinois teenager of all 5 charges. Rittenhouse claimed he acted in self-defense when he shot 3 men, killing 2 of them in August of 2020. Hillary Mintz was in the courtroom when those verdicts came down. She joins us now live here in Kenosha. Hillary?
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, Patrick, we were just a few feet away, and you could really see and feel how nervous Kyle Rittenhouse was, but how quickly that changed when the verdicts were read.
And they have notified us that they have reached a verdict.
After a 2-week trial and a 3rd week of deliberations, the verdicts came in. 18-year-old Kyle Rittenhouse, accused of killing 2 men and facing a life sentence, stood to face his fate.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty.
One by one, the not guilty verdicts were read. Jurors cleared Rittenhouse on all 5 counts. The Illinois teen collapsed. Mom and sister sitting behind burst into tears. Members of the victim's family, seated behind 12 News, were stunned. The verdicts were 15 months in the making. August 25th, 2020, amidst the chaos on the streets of Kenosha following the police shooting of Jacob Blake, Rittenhouse, armed with his AR-15, shot 3 men, killing Joseph Rosenbaum and Anthony Huber. All 3 shootings were captured on video, and the lone survivor testified.
What was going through your mind at this particular moment?
That I was going to die.
But in his own emotional testimony, Rittenhouse told jurors he was attacked by all 3 men and fired in self-defense.
So I didn't do anything wrong. I defended myself.
With the nation watching and waiting, Rittenhouse left the courtroom a free man.
And Hillary, Rittenhouse went home after the verdicts?
Yeah, we don't exactly know where, Patrick. He did testify he was living in Walworth County, but his attorney late this afternoon, Mark Richards, saying it's unlikely he'll be able to stay in Wisconsin due to security and safety issues. Patrick.
Hillary Mintz reporting live in Kenosha tonight. And we did not hear from Rittenhouse himself, but we did hear from his attorney. 12 News' Nick Bohr joins us now with Mark Richards' reaction to the decision. Nick?
Right, Patrick. Mark Richards saying that he knew this case was going to be big, but not this big, attracting international attention. And though Rittenhouse is already reportedly scheduling national interviews, he says Rittenhouse never wanted to be part of all this.
It's been a long 3 weeks. We're very happy with the verdict.
Mark Richards says his client, Kyle Rittenhouse, said simply thank you as the verdict was read.
We're happy that the jury took the time, put in an incredible amount of effort. There were times we doubted the case. There were times we were confident. And to say that we were relieved would be a gross misunderstatement.
Despite the verdict clearing him, Richards says he believes Rittenhouse has remorse that he took 2 lives.
I think he does. We've talked about it. There's been so much talk about whether the tears were genuine. All I can say is when we prepared Kyle and we worked on his testimony, There were things we couldn't talk about in my office because it got too emotional and he couldn't handle it.
Richard says Rittenhouse is in counseling for PTSD and doesn't sleep well at night. He still needs 24-hour security. Richard says while Rittenhouse believes he had no choice but to shoot the 3 men, he wishes it hadn't come to that. Richards was asked if Rittenhouse regrets going to Kenosha that night to take part.
If he had to do it all over again and you said same thing is going to happen and life is going to be put in a living hell for a year and you're going to not know if you're going to be a free man, he would say, I wouldn't go.
Now, I did ask Richards about the critical decision in this case to have Kyle Rittenhouse testify in this case. Of course, as we saw there and we reported, he sobbed on the stand. Richards is telling me that it made the difference in the case. Patrick.
Nick Bohr reporting live. Nick, thank you. Thomas Binger, one of the prosecutors in this case, sent out a statement saying in part, quote, while we are disappointed with the verdict, it must be respected, adding, we ask that members of our community continue to express their opinions and feelings about this verdict in a civil and peaceful manner. The family of one of the shooting victims, Anthony Huber, left the courthouse without comment this afternoon. 12 News' Courtney Sisk joins us now. And Courtney, Huber's girlfriend did talk tonight and expressed anger over what she called a failed system.
Patrick, Anthony Huber's girlfriend, Hannah Giddings, is out here. She sat in the courtroom nearly every single day. She says, well, she's not surprised by the verdict. She is heartbroken. Now, she spoke to a group of about 24 community members who met tonight near 13th and 52nd to kickstart an initiative they call Reimagine Kenosha. It's designed to promote healing in the community and also to start pushing for change in Kenosha. Giddings called the criminal justice system a failure and said it's now up to the community to move forward.
I miss Anthony every single day. Every day I wish that I could come home to him and unload some of this weight that's on my shoulders, but I can't because he's dead. And now this system is telling me that nobody needs to answer for that. And I have a problem with that.
And as you can see right now, that group is still out here tonight. They're listening to speakers, listened to music. They have food out here, really just starting that healing process right here tonight. Patrick.
Courtney Sisk in Kenosha. Courtney, thank you. We're also getting reaction from Anthony Huber's mother and father. They sent a statement that reads in part, quote, Mr. Rittenhouse came to Kenosha armed to kill. Kenosha police encouraged him to act violently, and our son is dead as a result. We are so proud of Anthony, and we love him so much. He is a hero who sacrificed his own life to protect other innocent civilians. 12 News spoke exclusively with Kim Motley, the attorney for the lone shooting survivor, Gage Grosskreutz. We talked with her following the verdict.
We're very disappointed. I frankly don't see how they came to this conclusion, but we have to respect the decision. We are going to vigorously push forward our civil case, and we believe that we will uncover a lot of truths. We will have a lot of evidence that we'll be able to look at, including the evidence that the prosecution has, because that was not something that was available to us.
This case has received national attention. Some people came here to the courthouse and stood on the steps behind me to listen to the verdicts as they were read this afternoon. Matt Smith continues our coverage. Now, Matt, there were both protesters and supporters on the courthouse steps today.
Patrick, that crowd has all but left tonight. Just a handful of people remain. Traffic is flowing here outside the courthouse where just a few short hours ago, uncertainty. The faint words of the judge echoing on the courthouse steps. An instant live-streamed reaction. How does this community move forward?
We can't. We back at square one.
Bringing national attention to Kenosha.
Kyle opted to defend a town that needed someone.
You have people like the McCloskeys from St. Louis here to stoke fear, intimidation, and to raise money blood money.
The McCloskeys, who gained national attention last summer for waving their guns at protesters outside the courthouse as the verdict was read. We're running for U.S. Senate in Missouri. What type of impact does this have on your campaign, and why are you out here in Wisconsin?
I'm out here in Wisconsin to uphold the Second Amendment, to support Kyle Rittenhouse.
Police and sheriff's deputies on hand Friday afternoon. The only large response to an apparent medical incident as small groups of demonstrators went back and forth. Bishop, are you surprised by the decision?
I am surprised. I'm not just surprised. It is an insult. It is insult to the process of criminal justice.
And Matt, we still have some police officers out here this evening. You were out here all afternoon. What has the police presence been like throughout the day?
Yeah, Patrick, as you've seen, there's definitely been a presence, but even more so, a majority of the time behind the scenes, watching and preparing to respond in force if needed. Local law enforcement, Patrick, has been preparing for this verdict, for this day, for months.
Matt Smith in Kenosha. Matt, thank you. For now, we're going to send it back to you in the studio. Joyce, Toya?
We will continue with this story. Wisconsin's 2 U.S. senators are reacting to the decision tonight.
In a tweet, Senator Ron Johnson says he believes justice has been served and hopes everyone can accept the verdict, remain peaceful, and let the community of Kenosha heal and rebuild. Senator Tammy Baldwin also released a statement reading in part, "I understand why people believe that justice was not served in this case because I feel the same way. This ruling makes it clear that we have so much work to do."
Governor Tony Evers had this to say, quote, "Kenoshans are strong, resilient, and have spent the last year working every day together toward healing. We must have peace in Kenosha and our communities, and any efforts or actions aimed at sowing division are unwelcome in our state, as they will only hinder that healing."
The National Guard remains on standby tonight. Ahead of the verdict, Governor Evers authorized 500 members to support local enforcement officials if necessary. President Joe Biden has also offered Governor Evers potential resources in the event of unrest in the city there.
And tonight, Milwaukee's mayor Tom Barrett says he's not surprised by the not guilty verdicts.
And having watched that, I cannot rest and say, well, justice was done in this case. Because we have a situation where 2 people have lost their lives and another person was injured as a result of an individual, a teenager, bringing a semi-automatic assault weapon into a situation that was inherently dangerous.
And here is a closer look at the charges. The jury acquitted Rittenhouse in the death of Joseph Rosenbaum. Rittenhouse was found not guilty of first-degree reckless homicide. In the death of Anthony Huber, the jury found him not guilty of first-degree intentional homicide. In the Gage Grosskreutz shooting, Rittenhouse was found not guilty of attempted first-degree intentional homicide. The jury also found him not guilty on 2 charges of recklessly endangering safety.
You can watch the verdicts as they were being read on the WISN 12 Facebook page and on our website, WISN.com. There we also have reaction from Rittenhouse in court and the victims' families. Let's check weather now. Chief Meteorologist Mark Baden joins us.
And Mark, temperatures are going to warm up this weekend.
We are heading for 50 degrees. However, the wind comes with it when you may have to watch out for some rain showers. Next in Weather Watch 12.
Hey there, I'm Diana Gutierrez. Thanksgiving is just a few days away, and Monday on 12 News This Morning, a turkey tradition returns at Milwaukee's Tower Chicken, plus other events where you can find what you need for Thanksgiving dinner. And wake up knowing what to wear with Lindsay's forecast. We'll see you Monday morning starting at 4:30.